Okay, so we're back, and we are...
Continuing.
We are still continuing.
Do you know where we left off at?
Vaguely. We had just finished kind of getting the limbs in order, and it's time to do a little bit of reshaping, a little bit of reposing. If I bring over our image one more time, we have some things we need to adjust. Like, we need to get both of the bones in place for where each of the forearm-like segments split off. And you'll notice this happens on all of the different limbs to some degree. In some areas, you know, it's kind of suggested that it's not quite as pronounced as it is on other limbs, but we can have all kinds of fun with that.
And at the same time, that could simply be how that particular limb is twisted at that time.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's one of those things where 2D and 3D aren't always
but it's nice
mutually
because,
compatible.
Yeah, we have some freedoms that we can take here.
So to jump right in, now notice that I do still have my Z-Sphere model up. We are in edit mode. And right now I'm just moving some stuff around. Like, I do notice that the lower pair of arms actually kind of comes a little bit forward from the base. So what I'm going to do is grab these little connection spheres and kind of pull these up a little bit. And where I'm getting that, if I bring this guy over, and I'll be doing this quite a lot, so just kind of get used to it.
Oh, we know.
You can see that that initial direction for, like, kind of off the shoulder, so to speak, is in a forward direction. It doesn't go out to the side like the upper arms do.
Gotcha.
Now, you'd mentioned something.
Does that mean we're going to fix that middle leg?
You were kind of crying earlier, Jason. Like, you had this sort of.
If you're going to get all picky about pulling out those.
Well, what you had mentioned that you know, I think, like, in between tears and various racking sobs, that you really didn't like how these arms were positioned.
If that's how you heard me.
And after I tried to hand you a tissue and you knocked it away in a fit of a tantrum, what did you have in mind here?
Rotate around this guy right here.
This guy?
How do you like I said rotate?
Yeah.
Would you say that, that leg right there bends out and back?
Oh,
down?
yeah. The legs have all kinds of problems.
Oh, yeah.
Right
See,
now.
that's.
I actually thought you were talking about these arms.
No.
But you were sniffing so hard when you were crying. It was hard to tell.
The way those joints are actually bending. You have taken the time to break, to break this guy.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Just like with our modeling videos.
I actually thought you were talking about the arms.
When you get away from the topology, the verts that you're working on at that moment in time, and you move somewhere else and you leave crap flowing all over the place. It's not even flowing. It's just like a car wreck.
This is why I generally model, one, with music, and two, by myself, really.
But you've told me that I'm kind of like music to your ears in the past.
That was kinda years ago. That was
metal kind. Oh, when you still liked me.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah. You see how that works?
Yeah, I do now. Oh, look at that. Yeah, now we can pull the bot. I don't want to be a backseat model or anything.
But you've already done that. I mean, that's a done deal.
I'll save that for the next Maya video.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that at all.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be too much longer seeing how I actually
do want some
reached
perspective
for the mouse the other day.
Yeah.
For the first time ever. Well, in a while, I can't say ever.
Apart just a little bit. And I keep wanting, you can't really tell in the picture, and I'll let you guys open the picture up on your own, but I keep thinking these back legs should actually be a little bit smaller.
I concur.
So I'm just going to kind of shrink those down a little bit. I'm not going to get too terribly carried away with things at this point, because before we get to our final bit where we start to get ready to paint on our Z-sketch, we can make some last-minute adjustments, and then using bind mode, we can actually make adjustments after the fact.
For those of you that are not familiar, while Zach's kind of rotating around looking at his Z-spheres here, for those that are not familiar with The Rookie or any of the other books, the key also serve as a great race for playing center. So when a human quarterback, goes to take a snap from a key center, it's interesting because they have to take a slightly different stance than they do with regular NFL football now, because those front legs. Show which legs, Zach. Those legs right there. Those are going to be the legs that are actually going to grab the ball and pass it back. So the human has to be able to reach way up underneath the body of the key to be able to receive the snap.
You got to get a little friendly, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Not very friendly. And your stance has to be adjusted with like your left leg back to keep you from falling on your butt.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to tweak some scales here, because the scales for my Z-spheres are all over the place. That's not necessarily a problem, because really I'm just building sort of a generic armature.
So not necessarily a problem, hence that there could be some problem?
No, I'll feel better if they're a little scaled down, is really what it boils down to.
I gotcha.
It's just a personal thing. Also, in an earlier version of this, when I was kind of R&Ding and seeing how I was going to be approaching this, I actually put an extra segment into the arms, and that caused no end of heck as I was trying to sculpt everything. So I did just take a second to make sure I had the appropriate number of segments reaching out from the body. So there should be 1, 2, 3, and then a hand. So there's 1, 2, 3. This fourth one is just really the thickness from the spine out to the shoulder. So if you're counting an extra one there, you're just wrong. I've got this arm a little longer than it needs to be, I'm noticing. So, and it doesn't want to, it doesn't want to scale because it shouldn't be scaling it. I should be moving it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just passenger modeling. And yeah, that's cool of you. You know, that's very nice.
I mean, if we want it to turn out really nice,
you're gonna go there, aren't you? You're gonna go there. That's great. You know.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm gonna start adding in a little bit of additional detail. So a little bit of extra rounding to the spine. This is all also stuff that I just kind of feel better about. It may or may not manifest by the time we get to painting on our Z-sketch. But as I paint those on, this will lead to a little bit of natural curvature and flow as opposed to painting on a whole bunch of straight lines. And I'll bring this forward a little bit for where we're going to paint on the head. Obviously, we're going to have to put a lot of thick strokes around there to build a head up out of that. But that's the great thing about Z-sketching. It's really a lot like working with clay in that regard. Now, taking a look at the overall width of the lower stalk of the body, that's sort of the horizontal stalk, I think it's possible that my hips are a little bit too far spread out. So I'll pull those in just a little bit there, back up a little bit. As for posing of the feet and all, I can get that a little bit later.
Well, that one's a hard call. I don't know if it's going to be quite that narrow.
Well,
I mean, I know you're going to obviously. I guess it'll be okay when you start sculpting.
And here, I'll bring the picture back over. So these are almost like big pectoral muscles, in a way, or like whatever the muscles are in the front of a horse. And then the hips kind of branch out from there. It's almost like the hip bone should be somewhere right in there, and then going back. Now, it does seem, based off this picture, that my legs are overall just generally kind of shortened from where they need to be. Because like that first knee is like way up higher in the air, and the whole thing's kind of folded in on itself. This feels like it should be a little more like that. And I'm fine with the position of the foot for the time being. All of this, everything I just did, is kind of subject to change once I get the toes in place.
Right.
I may look at it and go like, maybe I just want to go in a different direction. And it's taking a little bit longer.
No, those second ones definitely don't go up higher.
It's taking a little bit longer because I'm explaining everything. And it will start to speed up just a little bit if I shut up and start modeling. So I'm just going to shut up and start modeling a little bit.
You do that.
So let's see here. Let's go to draw mode.
Still talking.
Bring this. I'm not talking as much. I'm mumbling now. There's a difference.
Gotcha.
There's a difference.
For those that are following along with the Photoshop series, the new CS5 fundamental series that's been released, Zach, you recorded your 51st video earlier today?
I think so. I think that's right.
That's absolutely awesome.
I think the audience at large has only seen about 12 of those.
Yeah, there's not many. So member sponsors, you guys have a lot of content coming. And for those that are not member sponsors, I'm still going to release some of it.
You're still getting some content.
Yeah, I'm still going to be releasing another few hours of it probably for free. Okay,
so here's how I'm going to handle these feet, all right? We know that we have a total of 4 toes, even though in the drawing some of them kind of disappear into the background, but there are supposed to be 4 there. So I'm going to go to a nice side view, and then we'll get these spaced out. And the way that I'm positioning them is just with where I want the toes to end up. Kind of like on the ground plane.
Right, because you can go back with the connector spheres and then start.
And that's how I like to work.
Exactly.
Now, let's see. Currently, I have perspective on, so I'm going to turn that off for just a moment. And I could go ahead and turn on a floor if I want. This should be the lowest point. So I can use this as a way to kind of get all those toes right there on the floor. If you go down too far, you'll start to move the floor a little bit. Or at least you should be moving the floor.
Should be. Remember, it's going to line up with the lowest. Oh, but today it does not.
Today? Oh, wait, it does.
It does. It just wasn't updating.
No, it's either not updating or perspective is making it look weird. It's updating after I bump the camera.
Yeah, it's just not updating.
Yeah, so that's fine. That works. I mean, that's close enough.
I should have probably rebooted my computer today. I've been abusing it to death.
It's possible, but I think we'll be okay. Now, if I take a look from above, the way I'm reading that is that we have some spheres that are more forward, and then the back ones are kind of shorter. So it's like the front 2 toes, so to speak,
and I know we're trying
are a little more elongated.
reduce the number of times that we drag over the browser to show Moo. But I
don't mind. I'm bringing it back over.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's when you do it every 3 seconds. I don't know about people out there watching, but it drives me nuts. But go ahead and pull it over right now, just so they can get a good look at the feet. So we can you can point out how you can tell that it's 4. I mean, you can see right there on that first leg on the horizontal stalk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you can't tell how many toes, but if you look over on the left, obviously there's 4.
Right.
So that's kind of what he's going for those of you that don't remember what the feet look like.
Okay, so let's get in here. Now we can start to shape these out by adjusting the connector spheres.
We need to get with Frenzy. So, Andrew, if you're listening to this, which you probably are at some point, we need to do some of these videos with you at some point, because you do some amazing ZBrush work.
It's true, he does.
He's been very helpful over on 3D Buzz with people that have had ZBrush questions lately, which, of course, we very much appreciate.
Very much. And sorry, I'm getting a little bit quiet now.
No, that's okay. I'm just filling in dead airspace stuff. Suzanne's sitting here with us. She doesn't have a mic on. Say hi, Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne.
There you go. She's always just so, I don't know. She follows the instructions dead on. I mean, you do.
That's supposed to be.
No, that's a good thing.
And suddenly the floor's updating again.
Yeah, I see that.
That's fine. We'll go with it.
So I think probably once you get this one foot locked into place, we'll go ahead and bring this video to a close, because it'll probably put us close to 15 minutes, just so we don't get into the old habit of hour-long
like a
videos.
45-minute video.
Yeah. Or about the good old days. I think my Inheritance video was like 3.5 hours, and one that Logan and I did was like 4.5, almost 5 hours.
Those were unique.
One video.
Those were unique. You know what made those unique?
What made that?
You were talking.
I like to explain things in depth.
That's true.
It's why these days you don't see me teaching quite as much. It was pointed out that we really need to back off of the VTM length. So it's like, all right, well, that's simple. Let's just put somebody else in the driver's seat.
All right, let's see here.
I mean, most people say their video courses are, it's 4 hours long, 6 hours long. Let's see, XNA.
I don't even remember how much that was.
124 hours.
Okay.
Well, we started out with Maya Fundamentals, 82 hours.
Yeah.
And then there was Advanced Modeling.
Wasn't that even questioned later on that it was actually more than that? We
technically
we didn't
it was.
know how
there
to
was,
count at the time.
Well, there was a bug in Logan's video counter.
I like saying we didn't know how to count at the time.
Okay. Like, Logan didn't know how to spell amount, and he actually managed to convince me of a brand new spelling
that it had
for
two
it.
M's in it, wasn't
Yep.
it? Yeah, I remember that.
It's like, I don't think so. Logan's like, no, I think that's the way it is. Okay, well, Logan's got to be right.
And you just went along with
And
it.
I just went with it,
Pretty awesome. Okay, so, yeah, I think that's going to be a good start off for the foot.
Okay.
So, I mean, we are at about 13 minutes. We can go ahead and call it here. It's not going to be a super fast process to...
That's modeling, dude. Come on.
Just, fire these feet together. So if you find yourself, at least in like the upcoming videos, is I have to add similar appendages to the ends of the legs and to the ends of the hands. If you want to start kind of fast forwarding through, of course you can do that. Or if you're the kind of person who really likes to see every single button click, you can watch along. So that, however, is going to wrap things up for this video.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you all for watching.